Hi guys, it's Nick and Neil at Talk and Review. So this review is going to be on Accident Man. So this stars Scott Adkins. So for me, Scott is easily one of the best action martial artists that is out there at the moment. And what I find is that Scott is in a niche market of straight to DVD films, and for me, he's the best there is at the minute, and he's keeping this market alive, along with Michael J. White. But I feel Scott is there. He's the peak. He's keeping it alive because at the minute, piracy is an issue for this type of film or films that are going straight to DVD. So the budgets are getting smaller and smaller with each year, and if the films are not making money, then people like Scott are gonna not be able to make films that we love, that we enjoy. A good example of that is with the Undisputed franchise. So fortunately, we are getting the sequels that have come. So we've had 2, 3, and 4. But it's been a very hard struggle for Scott to get them type of films made due to the films not making a huge profit and piracy having a massive impact on that. And what I feel is I don't see anyone taking over Scott at the moment. I feel Scott is the one who's leading the way with these type of films, and they're only getting better and better as they come along. So yeah, go out and please support this film and all of Scott's films, because I know I want to see these films, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of martial art fans that want to see these type of films. And what we don't want is some cheap, horrible looking film. We want the quality as well as the martial arts as well. So, Accident Man, what's it about? So, what you have is a brilliant cast in Scott Adkins, who's playing Mike Fallon. You've got Michael Jar White and Ray Park, who play Mick and Mac. You've got Ray Stevenson, who's playing Big Ray. You've got Ashley Green, who's playing Charlie Adams. You know Ashley from the Twilight films. You've got Amy Johnston, whose latest film, I believe Lady Blood, has been getting some rave reviews. You've got Perry Benson, who plays Finicky Fred. Perry Benson, I always know him from. He's in loads of stuff. This is England, etc. But I'll always remember him from a film. It's quite a disturbing film, Mum and Dad. English film. Go and watch it. It's a horror, disgusting film, but brilliant at the same time. Uh, you've got Tin Man. He plays like a triad biker. He's also the fight choreographer for the film. You've got the Carnage Cliff, which is Rosso Hennessy. You've also got a little cameo from Martin Ford. Plays like a masseuse, the villain from the last Undisputed film. So yeah, brilliant cast. And what you've got in terms of this project is it's been a passion project for Scott since he was a kid. So he's seen a comic book that he'd read, and this obviously made an impression with Scott. And when Scott's career has started to bloom and get better with each year, this has been a passion project for Scott. And for me, I think how he's managed to get this made and be proud of the product that he's put out shows the hard work that he's put in. And you can always see from Scott's films that he puts in over 100% with every film, and I think this film really shows that. So, Accident Man, it's a character from a series of strips written by a British comic writer, Pat Mills, and Tony Skinner. And the stories, I think they were printed in Toxic in the early 1990s. So, the actual story is centered on the life of Mike Fallon. He's a high-class hitman, and Fallon's known for making his murders look like accidents and often going to great lengths or extravagant lengths to do so. And Fallon's also noted for his love of high living and glamorous girlfriends, and basically Mike Fallon's attitude to his hits was changed the day that his ex-girlfriend is murdered. And then Fallon then goes on a sort of rampage to find out who's paid the contract on his girlfriend and who made the hit. So yeah, that's more of the outline of the story of the film. So what we're going to do now, me and Neil are going to discuss the film in a bit of detail. So discuss the cast, our favourite scenes, what we think of the film overall, and we're going to have a bit of back and forth and discuss that in a bit more detail. So hope you enjoy the review, and make sure you go and buy this film and support Scott. The DVD has got some great extras on there, and you can also, if you're in the UK, it will be a DVD, but I know Germany do a Blu-ray as well. So if you want to get a Blu-ray, get a German copy, or obviously the US copy if you're in the US. So yeah, go and support this film now. Okay, so how we are going to break the review down, it's going to be, first section will be about the cast and the director and their overall performance in the film. Then we'll go into the fights, the action. The next part will be around the story and the dialogue of the film. We'll then discuss mine and Neil's favourite scenes, and then we'll finish off with our overall thoughts. So Neil, what did you think of Jesse as a director for Accident Man?
Yeah, I was pretty impressed with it, to be fair. So usually, like with action films and stuff, one of my main complaints is that the camera's too close to the action. You can't really see like the full sort of scope of what's actually going on. Isaac Florentine tends to do it really well in the way that he sort of films his fight, and I think Jesse's sort of the way he's filmed his fight, he's not gone into any sort of jump cuts or anything like that. He's allowed the action to happen, which is something I think is really important, especially in a film like this. Can't really, there's no complaints about the sort of flow of the story, the way it's gone, and the way that he's negotiated the story. So I think he's done really well there.
I agree with the Isaac comparison. I think both of them filmed the fights with the widescreen, so you can literally see everything. There's no fast cuts. Both of them know how to film action. And Jesse's just finished doing the film with Scott, which is Triple Threat.
Excited for that one.
Definitely. So if you don't know, that is Scott, Michael J. White, and Michael Bisping, and that will be with Tony Jaa, Eco from The Raid, and I forgot his name now, it's the guy from The Matrix. So yeah, it's going to be like an Expendables martial arts film.
And I reckon it's going to be thick.
Yeah, so with the films that Jesse's done so far, I think he will definitely bring us something new and fresh with this film.
Yeah, so I think he's moving on as well. So Savage Dog was good, but with the fights they were a bit more close in.
Yeah.
So with this one, he's sort of come out a little bit and allowed you see a lot more of the action. So I think he's sort of learning how to work with martial artists now. So I think with coming into Triple Threat, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. Just in terms of the cast, let's start with Scott. So for me, I feel that Scott felt he looked really comfortable in the film, and I think one of the aspects of that is he wrote the film. His performance is always up there, and obviously you got the fights and just the dialogue in general. He doesn't look like he's struggling with the dialogue. It's just flowing nice and easy, and you can see from Scott's earlier films up into Accident Man, his acting's just improved massively. And what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I thought he's handled he's never really done sort of a comedy film before, or had to sort of handle a comedy aspect of a character.
No.
I think he's delivered it quite well in this. He does actually come across as the cheeky chappy, and he's quite funny and likeable in this one. Adds to the film as well, because I think if he wasn't that sort of cheeky chappy, it would have been a little bit difficult to sort of follow him a bit, because he is a bit of a nasty dude in this one. But I think his sense of humour sort of shines through on this one. So yeah, I think he smashed it. Because has he done any comedies before?
He's got the Debt Collector coming up, and that looks like he's adding a bit more comedic value to the film from what I've seen in the trailer. So it looks like he's going outside of his comfort zone, trying something new, and for me it looks like it's working really well for Scott. So who was your favourite cast member bar Scott in the film?
What was the girl's name?
Amy Johnston.
Yeah, I thought she was pretty sick as a character, and I've never really seen her in anything before, so she's quite a good martial artist as well. I mean, is she in a lot of films?
She's just done the film Lady Blood, I believe.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's supposed to be really good, got some good reviews.
I think I'll have to check that one out, because she's turned me on as a fan, I think, this one.
My favourite would be Ray Park. So he surprised me in this film. I loved the dialogue in the bar scene, where I don't know if it was part of the script or if it was just on the flow of things or impromptu, where they're talking about the lesbians and he's dry humping the table at the bar. So I just love the banter that Ray Park brings to the role, and I think Ray Park should have been in Triple Threat. So instead of Michael Bisping, they should have put Ray Park instead of Bisping.
Bisping's going to bring those WWE fans in though, isn't he?
WE?
I mean,
UFC. Yeah. You bring the UFC, but for an overall martial arts film, I think Ray Park would have just topped it off a little bit more.
Definitely. I thought he had, I mean, him and Michael J. White were pretty good together, weren't they?
Yeah.
There's a little bit of banter between them, and I like the chemistry between them as well. And they're actually, like, do you know what I mean? They're a believable team as well. So
yeah, I think Ray Park, I don't know, his acting felt a bit more believable, and just his dialogue flowed a bit better than Michael J. White's. Just in terms of comedic value, I think Michael J. White, because I'm not too used to him doing comedic, it didn't pull off as well. But yeah, so Ray Park was definitely my favourite performance, bar Scott's. So the fights, what was your favourite fight?
I like the M fight, I did.
Yeah.
The fight with Amy Johnston and Scott.
Yeah.
I thought it was really good. What does he say at the end?
So he says, I still reckon you wanted to fuck me.
Yeah. That, I mean, stitches, man. I was probably pissing myself.
Yeah, that is
really
that,
good. And it was a good end to the fight as well.
Yeah, I think the good thing about that fight is Scott and Amy both go at it, and you can see from the fight, you can see Scott's letting her hit him with some nice contact.
That's a good thing that I like about Scott Adkins films, because the people that he fights, like, they go all out.
Yeah.
And I know there has been films that we've watched where Scott's in them and he's had to, like, dumb his performances down a little bit to make the main star look better. But he lets him sort of have free reign, and he still looks better, which is good.
Yeah. And I think Amy took some as well, so you can see some stuff that Scott's throwing, and he's obviously powerful, and she's taken some of the stuff that Scott's throwing at her. So I think he's let her shine, as well as bringing that classic Scott Adkins fights into that final fight. For me, it was a toss-up between the fight that he has with Tin Man, the fight choreographer, on the bike.
Yeah.
I just loved where Scott says, what does he say? Is that Southern style? When he's pulling off all the moves.
Yeah.
And then there was the slow-mo drop kick. I thought that was proper nice.
Yeah.
It just, again, that was wide angle. You can see everything. You can see that Scott's actually pulling that off. And then there was another bit where it slows down and Scott just pulls off a nice kick to the head and smashes the helmet. And for me, that was like really nice. But then the bar scene was also a close one because I liked just the entrance to the bar scene and him just ripping everyone apart in the bar.
Fight between Michael J. White and Ray Park and Scott Adkins, that was sick.
Yeah.
I love that fight.
I think we're treated to 2 fights, Michael J. White and Ray Park. I think you've got them kicks in the first fight in the dojo.
Yeah.
So you got the triple kick that Scott does, and then there was another one in the second fight where I like the first kick that he does on both of them.
Yeah.
That was a proper nice kick, that one. And with them kicks, if you want to see how they're done, Scott's just done a tutorial on Ginger Ninja's YouTube page on how to do the kicks from Accident Man. So go and check that out if you want to perform some awesome aerial kicks.
Yeah, I've been practicing them, and it's safe to say I can't do them, but have a go. You might learn something.
Yeah. But yeah, overall the fights are awesome, and what you've got is Scott's always tried to push the envelope in terms of fights, and you've got them long one takes in some of the fights, and he also makes them more interesting. I also found that for me the fight in the house with Carnage Cliff reminded me a bit of the fight in Universal Soldier Day of Reckoning, where Orlovsky comes in with the axe.
Yeah.
And
It's
when
like
he-
just a brutal.
Yeah.
Those fights are good. Like when
Just
you
smashing
just
the place
got
up.
like some crazy guy just after, and then you just got a nimble dude just absolutely fucking him up, which I loved. That was
Yeah.
wicked.
And what you've got is, I think these fights are top of the range. You can't get anything more from these films than quality Scott Adkins fights.
Yeah, I'd say I've enjoyed this in terms of fights. More than it's just wicked. Like, there's just plenty of fights in it. I mean, for the last few films I think that he's brought out, I think this is probably on par with Undisputed 4, I'd say, for fights.
Yeah?
Yeah, not Undisputed 4 is slightly better because it's an all out and out martial arts film.
Yeah.
But this will come in a close second for the fights.
You've also got a little cameo from Martin Ford, which I mentioned earlier. He's the masseuse.
Oh yeah.
He's the bad guy in Undisputed 4. Obviously Scott takes him out easily in this film. But yeah. So next part we'll go into will be the story and the dialogue. So for me, it's refreshing to see something different with a film like this, especially something which doesn't deserve to go straight to DVD, but it's something new. Scott wrote it with his best mate, Stu Smalls from school, and I think you can tell because some of the British humour that comes out.
Yeah, it's a little
with
bit
some
Guy
of the dialogue.
Ritchie-ish, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Some of it definitely had that vibe.
I really liked the voiceovers. Sometimes they don't work in films, and I liked some of the narrative, especially where during the killing scenes where he's talking about what weapon he's got, and he's going into detail in terms of how it works, what the make is, and what it's going to do and stuff like that. I really liked. And is there any like quotes or anything that you liked from
the film?
Well, yeah, like I say, that quote from the end where he's like, "Yeah, I knew you wanted to fool me."
Yeah.
That made me laugh. I'm trying to think of other ones.
One of mine is there was one at the beginning that I really liked and that set the film off. Would be where he's taking a selfie with a guy, and he basically says, "Yeah, I don't see a person. I see him as a brand new bike." I like that.
Yeah.
And then my favourite one was in the bar scene where he says, "I don't fight people, I fucking destroy them."
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my favourite quote. Went into a bit of Boyka territory with that dialogue there. Again, the bar scene, the start of the fight, I loved it, where he just was like, "Oi, fat boy." Yeah, so in terms of the story, I think it's interesting because it's different. It's like comic book-ish. I think you've got a bit of like Deadpool sort of
Yeah.
elements.
Especially with the pub bit, but then that's been incorporated into quite a few films as well now, hasn't it? So you've got John Wick has the similar sort of thing where there's like a central location where all the hitman goes. It just seems like it's like the thing at the minute.
Yes.
But yeah.
So yeah, I think Scott did really well for his first time writing a film. It could have been a disaster, but I think because Scott's invested so much time in this film, like he said in a lot of his interviews, it's his passion project, and I think that's definitely shown with the dialogue in the film.
Do you know what was mad though?
Yeah.
That I read the other day that like it was filmed in something silly like 20 days or something.
Yeah, I think it was like 24 days.
And they like you'd think that given that short amount of time there'd be something that'd be obviously glaringly wrong, or there'd be something there that'd be missing, but it really feels like there's a higher budget to it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like it's...
No, it doesn't feel really, really cheap like a straight to DVD films normally are. And I think that shows the work ethic that Scott puts in.
It's not easy.
No, you're not going to get them fights from anyone else in a straight to DVD film or even in theatrical films. Within that time, I think I read ages ago that the first scene in The Matrix took them 6 months to film, just one fight scene.
What?
Scott would absolutely smash it if he had 6 months to film a fight scene.
There's something in Game of Thrones that was like they spent 9 months filming one scene.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And bang this one out in
24 days.
24 days.
Yeah, Scott.
You've got some sick action in it.
Yeah.
Get Scott on Game of Thrones, man, and sort it all out.
Scott needs to be given 30-40 million, full control, and I think he would deliver a ridiculous film that would be up there. I think what he's pulling off with these films where he's only given a matter of 4 to 6 weeks to film is stupid, and I think that's why he got them awards from Jackie in terms for Boyka, so that they're recognising the hard work that he's putting in. But yeah, just in terms of, I also like there was little bits in the film. Did you notice the cigarettes that said Adkins?
No?
Yeah. He goes out for, I think he has a fag.
No, you got the 4K TV though, haven't you? So you notice it.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm still on like one of those old tube tellies for people watching.
So yeah, he pulls out some fags, and it's a little nod to Scott on the fags. You've also, what else was there? There was the talkovers. Tin Man. I liked. What did you think of Tin Man's fight choreography?
Yeah. Didn't really stand out as like any different. I didn't know that he, you know what I mean, it was good.
Yeah, I think Tin Man's bringing something new to Scott. He's pushing Scott to do different kicks, which are out of the ordinary kicks where there's not even a name for the kicks. And yeah, I think Tim Man's bringing something different for Scott with each film, and I'm looking forward to seeing what is brought into Triple Threat, where you've got Scott and Tony Jaa. That matchup has been waiting for that for God knows how long.
Well, yeah, since I first watched Undisputed 2, I thought,
everyone's just been begging for Tony Jaa and Scott to have a fight. So I think when that comes out, it's going to be a bit of a beastie film. What was your favourite scenes in the film?
Favourite scene?
What was your favourite scene?
Favourite scene would be... Do you know the just the bit where he's explaining like who he is and what he's doing? You know what I mean? Where it gives a bit of explanation as to why he's a hitman.
Okay.
Or how he's a hitman. That scene where it's like where it shows him killing that guy.
Oh yeah.
You know, when he's having the car crash. It's quite clever, and it shows you the type of character he is, and it sets a good standing for the rest of the film. Like, you know what to expect.
Yeah, he's basically got like no morals at all, has he? No. At the start of the film. I'm trying to think what my favourite scene would be. I think it would be. I think it would be where it's not an action scene, but I liked where Scott goes into the Hitman bar, and you're getting the introduction of all the characters and all of them there.
Yeah, that was quite funny actually. So when it comes around to the weirder ones, that dude, what was he? Was he in that?
Mum and Dad.
That was sick, but yeah. I thought he was good in this. I thought he was quite funny, and that the little weirdo that poisons everyone.
Yeah, he was good.
Ugh. It just reminds you, like, you know, there's always that one weird guy, like either at work or like in a social setting. It just reminds you of that weird guy that everyone just stays away from. So I can see where that character's come from.
I liked how they just like played off each other.
Yeah.
Especially Amy, where you've got Ray and Michael J. White thinking, can we fuck her? And they know she's dangerous, and she'll just chop them up and just kill them off. But yeah, I think the introduction of the characters for me was my favourite, because then you've got an expectation of what's to come for me. So what's your overall thoughts of the whole film?
I really enjoyed it. Start to finish, there wasn't like any. Never really felt bored throughout the film, but then again, you never really do. Like one of my main problems with films nowadays is that I struggle to, like, if there's not something going off like every 5 minutes, I'll lose interest sometimes. I didn't seem bored at all. The story was really good. It was quite snappy. The comedy was good. The fight scenes were exquisite. I'm going to use that word. Overall, I thought he smashed it. Yeah, Jesse Johnson is improving with every film as well, from what I've seen. So there's always been an improvement. So I'm actually quite excited to see what his next offering is going to be like, and also excited for Scott as well. Next film that he's got out, because he's getting better and better as well.
Can you remember the film?
Somehow he's getting older. I don't understand that.
Yeah, I think Scott's not even peaked yet. Can you remember the film Pit Fighter?
Yeah.
Jesse did that one.
Did he?
Yeah.
Was
Scott was in that as a cameo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And what? Yeah. Because I remember seeing that he was in it, thinking,
he had his cowboy hat on.
Yeah.
So overall, for me, I think this is easily one of Scott's best films. From everything to the acting to the film, because I think with the film being shot on actual locations, that enhances the quality of the film.
Definitely.
It's Universal Soldier: Day of Reckoning is still my favourite Scott film, and this is just a little bit just behind that.
Really?
I've got a soft spot for Day of Reckoning.
No, I do like Day of Reckoning. Yeah.
I don't know, it's just the darkness, and obviously you got him taking out Van Damme and Dolph at the same time.
That was a bit special.
But yeah, this is a brilliant film for me. definite one to watch, especially if it's one of Scott's best films. Go out and support Scott. Make sure you go and purchase the film. The film's out now on DVD in the UK. Unfortunately, it's not on Blu-ray for the UK, but if you purchase it in Germany, that's region free, and it's also out in the US as well. Is there anything else that you want to discuss or go over?
Just yeah, if you get the opportunity to see this film, if you're a fan, definitely pick this one up. Thoroughly enjoyable film. Yeah, it's one of his best. I'd say it was in his top 3 best films. And yeah,
let us know what your thoughts were on the film. What were your favourite scenes, favourite fights, etc. And just let us know what your thoughts were overall. Hit that subscribe button and like button. Head over to our Instagram page where we are updating everything that we do on the YouTube page. Hopefully you like this review and have a great day.
bye.